So
Just a minute.
finally, it's my honor to see the guy who have helped, I would say, hundreds of PMP in becoming certified project manager, and he's always behind the picture. We have the famous Tridib Roy. First of all, Tridib, thank you very much for making the
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us this time. And in this urgency, you took some time and you are going to share your knowledge with the PMP aspirant, how they are going to tackle it. For all the aspirants who already know, they should thank Tridy for making the mock. For other people who does not know him, let me tell you about him. He is a guy basically who put his questions on Udemy, and they are most of the time very inexpensive question, and he's always sharing code on his LinkedIn page, code for the month. And in my opinion, I would like to give some numbers of 2020. uh, I asked like 90 of my students, almost 90 or 95 of my students bought his course. And actually, when I was taking the interview and I put interview tried it on the YouTube, I was writing a thumbnail, I was writing on the as a subtitle. In order to pass the exam, I was recommending his mocks all the time in 2020. And we are hoping the same from him for 2021 because he is also a project manager. He's a certified person, so he knows how the exam psyche is. So let's ask from Tridib directly. So Tridib, thank you for coming in. So let's go directly to it. The major question: what made you to write such an awesome questions?
Now, first of all, let me know. I was not interested in this area. I'm an IT professional. I
Okay,
was predominantly in technology.
okay,
And yeah, in 2016, I went for a promotion interview in my company and I miserably failed.
okay,
Then I started, but at that time, I was managing around a 30-member team and near to 2 million revenue, and I was doing quite well. But something struck me. And then in 2017, I did Agile because I was already doing Agile in my technical technology work, and then did some CSM and CSPO. Then I felt something is in conflict, and people used to talk about PMP, and I saw that book, I saw PMBOK 5 that time. Yeah, okay, it's not my cup of tea. You all do it. Even all of my bosses were PMP certified. They were saying that you can do it. Then 2018, I don't know, a sudden drive came in my life that that I should do something in life. Then I started preparing for the exam and started falling in love with pinball,
okay.
which people
So
won't.
that's a very interesting thing. Falling in love with Pimbok. Okay, okay. Then
Then it's against my nature actually. How can I fall in love? Because I'm more a person who is on the field
okay.
than a process oriented guy. But but I there is always a debate, people over process or process over people. I always fight for people over process, but that doesn't mean that you should neglect process. But
Okay,
it's the people who has to follow the process.
okay, okay,
So anyway, I started falling in love with the and like anyone, I did prepcast at that point of time. I did prepcast and to be in February 2019, I passed PMP. And believe me, like you are also a PMP certified, after passing the exam, oh, what feeling you have. You can tell your grandchildren that something you have achieved. Because after MCA or yeah, after master's degree, after 10 years, after when you are away from, okay, something you have achieved. Then a sudden thought came in my mind. How can I continue my learning? You know it very well, Amir, because you are into this for a long time. If someone is away from this for a month or two, he's gone. He's he will not remember stuff. Even someone who has passed PMP and he's away from this for a year, he has to refresh everything. He has to relearn everything. So that's the thing. How can I continue my learning? Then I thought, let me put all of my learnings into a question bank.
okay, okay,
So into a question bank. And another thought process was in my mind. So I practice breakfast, and some Udemy says, say, I find breakfast is very good. I don't.
That's so true. That's
Yeah. But everyone cannot afford it from an underdeveloped country.
sure.
If I can produce some cost-effective solution to this world, how it will be? So it was just a, you can see, out of nothing, I came up with a course with 202 questions in May 2019.
Okay, okay.
So May 2019, and then my journey began, and I was helping. Actually, how it happened, I was helping a group of people in a WhatsApp group, and they asked me to furnish questions, and there were some free questions which I am like learning, and paid questions you cannot share. What will you do? You have something to make yourself, and this is how the journey actually began. Then what happened? That gradually I started developing the course. I started understanding the people's mindset. So what exactly the PMP wants. So when I went for the exam, I didn't know there will be a 30, 35 hours to change request questions. So I didn't know, to be honest, when I passed PMP. I just gave it, but it was not a difficulty for me, but it is my duty to let aspirants know. You have to put extra emphasis on change requests, like stakeholder management and all those things. So, and it is not an easy job because I have a 14-hour day in office. So I'm an IT professional. So somehow, but when you are in a flow, a magic word love, when you are in love of something, you just go on in spite of all the hassles. This is how it went with me. So gradually my question bank also started growing. And maybe because it is one reason I can say I'm very interactive. I interact with people. I interact with all the aspirants who reaches me and try to guide them in my own way.
Okay.
For me, I'm a deist, but for me, the holy book is PMBOK. Holy book is the PMBOK. So
Okay.
I tell everyone, so this is your holy book. You have to master it, like you master the holy book. So this is how it gradually, and I take criticism. So when you have something, there will be some positive criticism. There will
Sure.
be some positive. Those words. I take criticism. Yeah, I take criticism in a very minute way, whether I'm doing something wrong or something like that. So I try to improve in every step. So when criticism is concerned, there are some funny things. All my questions begins with a word called Ryan. Ryan is my 9-year-old son.
Yeah,
One lady
I
mentioned,
wanted to know who is Ryan.
yeah, yeah, Ryan is my 9-year-old son. One lady said, you are in my one of in my course feedback said you are gender biased. You already used a male name. So I wanted to tell her that Ryan is the name of my 9-year-old son. I am not a gender biased. I am not biased on anything.
Okay.
And more than yeah. So more than that, I mean, so gradual. You are seeing the gradual transition. So PMP exam is based on PMP examination content outline, not any book. So everyone has to read the outline, read and understand the outline, and put 5, 10, 49 in their mind, whatever, 5 process go and in their mind, and then go for it. It's purely conceptual. You can so many people are benefited from your videos.
Yeah.
So actually the concept should come inside, it's my total viewpoint. Concept comes little gradually, not in a one day. If someone tells me that I want to, I will read 1 hour a day, I want to pass in 5 days, you cannot do it. The concepts should come gradually, because, and whatever you have done, Joseph Phillips has done, you have represented the PMBOK in your own way, and people are learning it. So write it is recorded, and lot of things like then came 2021. I thought I have to update my course. So now my course is 100% updated. I did it in a agile fashion, you can say. Now it has two 180 set questions, and one full agile set.
I really
I've
like that you
included.
have been like, instead of just modifying in January, you send the announcement that I will be updating course with the timeline, that I will be updating this at this time, and then I will update this in sequence. And now your complete course is updated
Yeah,
according to the new circumstance. Let me tell you, Tridib, something you don't know, or if you have watched my video, when the exam was very difficult, I used to tell them, the students, either you need to get 70% in Prepcast 7 in 2020, in the previous version,
yeah,
or you need to get 65% in Trident. All my students who got 65%, not even passed in your complete exam, they got 5 above target in exam. So that was a massive thing. I took your test as the top on the pedestal. You know, when you give exam or when I give exam in back in 2014-15, Oliver Lehmann's question were on the top. They were free questions and they were considered as the on the top of the question. But with the passage of time, things go up and down. Today's your questions are considered as one of the good prepcast. Tomorrow, someone else's question will be better. It's the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
You know that. So for 2021, and I would highly like, I'm very happy to know that you are IT professional now with 2021. Now the agile is coming, like in some students they have 80, 70, 60, minimum 50% is agile and hybrid. When you give exam, it was 100% predictive. So now with the predictive knowledge, with the love of Pembroke, and with the IT professional background, I am looking for some very good new exam from you that specifically relates to hybrid, because students now need more than ever questions for hybrid. Because what is happening, two things, I would like to share that with you. Two things that is coming again and again in exam is questions of hybrid that is troubling the students. Secondly, drag and drop. I Since Udemy does not allow drags and drop to do there, what is your plan for,
No, yeah.
what is your plan for that? Hybrid and drag and drop.
See, hybrid and dragon. First of all, hybrid, yeah. So all over. So I have changed the pattern of my questions, more questions related to hybrid. Even if you talk about an organization, PMI is taking a very, I say it is a great step. They are not directly moving to agile. They are not moving to 100% agile. They are slowly moving. They are also maintaining the hybrid funda. If you see, now the PMI questions, it's mostly hybrid, and people say I don't know, people say some are agile. So hybrid I have covered in mind. And what I have covered, as far as I think, I have covered the entire PMBOK and Agile practice diet in my 535 question sets from conceptual point of view. So, and I mentioned the page number also, any reference books. People can go back to go back to that and get it. Yeah, drag and drop we cannot do. It's entirely dependent on Udemy. But once you have your concepts, I mean, you are teaching thousands. So these things won't be an issue, drag and drop, because it is match. You have to match A with B. Once you have your concepts, I don't think it will be. And I have around 10-20% match the following questions. So that I have covered. 20% match the following questions, and multiple selections also I have included, like you include for 2021. Okay. And some features, we cannot include in Udemy. We didn't know. So I think I covered all this. And if you see the gradual transition PMI, it's there actually in hybrid now. They will move totally to agile, maybe with PMBOK 7.
Yeah, and I will be hoping that you will fall in love with PMBOK 7, because that is very important in order to get the questions updated. And I really like what you advise to the students, that although PMBOK is considered as a holy book, it is the reference guide, the main book, but it is one of the guide.
Yeah.
It is one of the guide. That is a very
it's on one of the guide.
One of the guide that more of the things that can come later. So I hope Tridib as the PMBOK 7, and since I'm an ATP, we have a little bit knowledge, not 100% sure about that. When a new book is coming, probably it will be coming in the first week of May, but let's see. So then
let's see.
Yeah, then I'm expecting within a month or two after whenever the seventh edition release, you will be updating
Yeah.
this.
Let's see, because it depends on my professional engagements. So I'm engaged more than 14 hours a day. And you said that why I was late. I gradually released my course in February because I had to read Agile Practice Guide. I had to read Scrum Guide 2019 again to to build those questions. I'm sorry. So you can say, oh, I've not read before. Yeah, I read before, but I had to read Agile again, brush up my own Agile knowledge before publishing any question. Otherwise, it won't come. And before that also in 2019, though Agile Practice Guide was there, we didn't read it thoroughly. Now, and one thing I should read it. It's freely available in internet. So basics of Scrum, if understands, so it is, I think anyone can score high. See, Agile, it is 4 values and 12 principles. Once a guy understands, I don't think this exam is difficult for that person. But you have to understand from your mind. And regarding PMP 7 is concerned, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let me see. It will depend on my professional engagement when and I can do it. But I certainly want to fall in love with it.
Yeah, that's what actually I am looking for because, like, I really like the way you said it. There are some mocks that are very good. Still, Rita Fast Track is very good. Still, Prepcast is very good, and I recommend. Not that much because no mock. Let me put it this in real grounds. Currently in 2021 exam content outline, no one mock can suffice the exam. The feedback I'm getting just before a call with you, I was having a call with another student who just cleared exam today, like 4 hours ago. So he was telling the same thing. No one exam book or no one questions are enough for two. Previously, your questions or prepcast questions were more than enough. But as the things are changing, as the things are rapidly moving, we need to update it. And we really hope that you do that for the PMP aspirants. Of course, you may take a little bit more time, but this time you like I am 100% sure when you update this time, this will stay for 3 4 years because PMI is not going to change seventh edition or the exam content out
Yeah,
anytime sooner. That is their pattern, right?
yeah, that is their pattern. Question, there is a gradual shift of question patterns. And whenever aspirants reach me that sir, how many common questions I will get. I will see, I'm not an astrologer or a future teller. I cannot give you common questions. I can give you what I have in you, what I have in me, that I can give you. So yeah, the pattern of question also has changed. Like you can see there is a gradual shift of at least 40% of the questions I can understand. Though I have not given the exam, I've talked with I've talked with a few people. You can say 40% of the questions has totally changed uh, in the way. But situational still remains. Once you have concepts are ready, I can fill. And once you concepts contradict yourself, this I'm doing wrong. I'm not understanding. Suppose I'm not understanding what is stakeholder management. So where I'm getting wrong, I have to do my own RCA and get it done. See, and in the mocks also I have seen that the aspirants, they make a repetitive mistake of the same things. So that should be their area to focus on. And even agile practice guide is also not a very, it's a good book, it's very informative, but not it's just a guide. It's just a guide. You need, and they need to help from people like you who are explaining with graphical user interface. So, and I can understand there is in 2021 nothing is there, nothing is matching much.
Uh,
Sets question. Yeah, I still kept my.
please.
Okay. Maybe because yeah, net is a problem. So I agree, but I think I've covered conceptually. I've is where they have to learn from. They have to learn. For them, Agile is pretty new to them. So what I tried in my mock, you can say Agile practice guide. I tried to cover every good areas of Agile practice guide, and and this is what is reflected in my questions, you can say.
Yeah, that is actually reflected in your questions. And the one thing I really recommend to all the aspirants who haven't taken the Tridib questions, that please, whenever you are solving a question, as I recommend, doing your own root cause analysis. If you take the questions from Tridib or if you take the questions from anyone, the one of the most important thing doing any mock is doing the RCA. RCA is the king. Like if you want to clear the exam, root cause become the most important thing. Wouldn't you agree, Tridip?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Uh,
Definitely. And it is like that project management is something once you asked me or some, it is like that. How can project management is influencing us in our care or something like, it is something we are doing it from childhood. You can see managing stakeholders. We are managing our teachers. We are managing our parents and see only things that we didn't know the name. So once we conceptually understand everything, I think exam has become a little bit easier. It is my theory than what was there in 2020. 2020, you can say many mocks were available. There were some, yeah, now it's pretty new, and mocks are also gradually growing. But I feel 2021 for a section like IT and where Agile is there, has exam has become little easier. Why little easier? You say you have drag and drop and all and multiple selection. And this is my overview. I can be too wrong also.
I totally agree with your opinion. Same is the opinion of Andy Ramadal and other experts on the PMP. Like with the more object focus towards objective side, the exam is becoming more and more. Like once we get the exam get stabilized, like in more 2 and 3 months when we have drag and drop, and of course, I believe the PMA does not say that drag and drop and selecting multiple option carries more weightage, then the exam will become more easy for you. So that's a very good take from it.
Mhm.
Anything else you would like to tell about aspirants, how to clear the exam, how to become more better project manager? Any final thoughts, Shraddha?
Mm, that's the way. So what I follow in life, uh, education is the only religion for me that can unite the world and bring the world in one page. Learn and share what you are learning. That will add a great value to you. For the aspirants, believe in yourself. Try to you can do Amer Ali, you can watch Amer Ali video, you can watch Joseph Phillips video, but you have to understand things on your own. You have to develop your own concepts. So that's meant. Once you have your concepts, you can pass the exam. And I agree, syllabus is exhaustive, but it is not unachievable. Moment we see our PMP, it is an exhaustive syllabus, and we get afraid of such a big book. So even I was afraid when such a big book, how can I read? Like this. So, but once you have concepts, I mean, that we don't read cover to cover of any book. So conceptually, only the key areas. So I'm a little bit shy. I don't have any YouTube. I don't have any YouTube video. I have shy. So what I have covered, in my questions, I have covered all the areas like hybrid. You have said I have few questions on hybrid, like an organization. I'm just giving you an example. An organization who has never worked in Agile. So what life cycle he should choose? They should choose ideally. They should choose hybrid first. Then they can move to Agile. So I'm just giving you an example. There are a lot of areas are there. And again, and today is your birthday, right? Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday. Today is my
Okay.
birthday. Thank you for saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Happy birthday. I just watched it in LinkedIn. I thought of wishing you on. So
Thank
it is like that.
Thank you, Tridib. Thank you for wishing and thank you for giving your precious time. It's an honor to finally meet you, and I hope that we can have more of these episodes as I get more questions for aspirants and then as we develop in PMP. I would be looking forward for a follow-up session in the future.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay, you are sharing me the recording, right?
Yeah, I will put the recording on YouTube and I will also share it with you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.